What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. You are getting a very unique view from me today. It's kind of like you're sitting next to me in the tundra. Let's have a chat. The sun coming in the windshield right now is crazy. I can't even open up the sunroof because it was casting sun in the back seat. So this is how we will have to talk today. So I went on a road trip last night. I want to talk a little bit about the TRD sway bar on the highway, as this was my first trip. There are also a few other notes I have on the Platinum overall and my feelings with it as it sits now, so please stay tuned. So as you guys know, we've had this Tundra now, the Platinum that we built into a Pro, about 11 months, and I gotta be honest with you, it has been so much fun to build. And even though there is a TRD Pro on order right now for me, for the channel, that doesn't mean this Platinum Pro is going anywhere. I have no plans as of right now of what's going on with this truck, but yesterday reaffirmed my love for it as myself and my wife came up to where we are today, about 3 hours away from home, up in the mountains, like we always go. And, you know, we had the golf clubs, we had the bags, and you guys know how it is. The wives bring way too much for an overnight. We had a lot of bags, we had a lot of everything. So what was reaffirmed before we talk about the TRD front sway bar is I love the Crew Max cab, and I don't see myself going back to double cab, to be honest. It's just more comfortable, and even sitting back here right now talking to you, there's just so much room. There's nothing wrong with the double cab, and especially if you need that bed for work or for play, whatever you guys do out there, go for it. But what I use my bed for, it seems to be perfect. You know, I put my golf equipment back there. Sometimes we're doing a little mulch stuff, trips to the dump, nothing too crazy. Worst case scenario, if I ever have to put something big back there, like a kayak, which my father owns, things like that, I could always get one of those bed extenders, which let me know in the comments below if you would like to see the Platinum Pro with a bed extender or a bed separator. Let me know. But, you know, everything about the Crew Max, I am just, last night, really reaffirmed my feelings for it. I love it. On the trip yesterday, it was 80 degrees. We had this back window all the way down and the moonroof all the way down, or all the way back. So we had a nice airflow through the truck. It was perfect temperature. The side windows were up, so the airflow was coming from sunroof and back window all the way down. It was just a perfect situation. So love the Crew Max cab. So pumped I got it. This back window, I never want to be without it, and I am Mr. Moonroof forever, just because of that perfect amount of airflow. Made me very happy on the trip. Another thing is how much I absolutely love the supercharger. The supercharger for this truck, it's perfect. Magnuson, high five to you for coming out with the supercharger for this truck. I never had a problem with the 5.7 engine as it sits before the supercharger. But when you get a supercharger on it, especially when you're on the highway and you're in constant change of speed, slowing down, speeding up, you really get a sense of what the supercharger does for this truck. It just makes the truck feel so much lighter. It feels springy. It feels like there's always power in reserve. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like you're lugging something around that doesn't have enough power behind it. It feels perfect. It feels powerful. It sounds powerful. I'm absolutely in love with the supercharger. And I said to my wife last night on the trip, I said, I don't know if I could ever own another vehicle without a supercharger, just because of everything about the characteristics. I love the sound. I love the feeling. And Magnuson is a reliable company, so I don't feel nervous in any way, shape, or form with the product. I always try to keep and talk about products that I feel strongly about, I know are reliable. I don't just, you know, review and do anything with products that I don't have anything, you know, to back it with. And that's why when people ask me about certain products on the channel, and they're like, hey, how's this? And I always say to you, I'm always very honest. I'm like, you know what, I never used it, but my viewers say they love it, or, you know what, I've heard some bad things about it, but I can't really vouch for it because I never used it. And that's why I do it. I always try to use products, or always try to recommend products that I've used. Word of mouth, it depends. You know, if a lot of my viewers are saying it's good, that's one thing, but if I heard one or two people say something, I will always tell you, go read the reviews, read the negative reviews, read the good reviews, and the in the middle reviews. But anyway, the supercharger, though, just makes this truck, if you have the means, I really suggest you look into it. If you plan to keep your Tundra long term, I suggest you look into it. Don't forget, they offer it on Sparks Parts, which means you could use the Tundra Dude 34 promo code to save yourself 5% on a supercharger. That's about $400 of savings. So you may actually make out like a bandit in the long run. I mean, it's better than no savings, right? But the supercharger was the big win for me last. It was a perfect situation on the road. Beautiful temperature, beautiful everything. Supercharger, high five on that one. So let's get to the front TRD sway bar. Now, my biggest thing with that is this was my first trip, road trip with the TRD sway bar, and I wanted to see how it handled pretty much everything. Now, I always used to say that the TRD Pro suspension on the highway kind of felt like you were floating on a cloud. Now, don't get me wrong, you still got your feedback from the road, which is very important to me. I always like to feel what's under me. I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm floating on a cloud and there's nothing. But as far as the actual ride went, it was always a nice ride on the highway at high speeds with the TRD Pro suspension. What the front sway bar did, it completely, in my opinion, it completely eliminated all body roll and sway on the highway. The rear sway bar and the front sway bar work together to help keep the truck in the road, and I was very impressed with it all the way. The one giveaway that you get from it, though, you get that really good feeling on road, but when you're going over some bumps, you feel the bumps a lot more. Now, don't forget, it kind of limits the TRD Pro suspension from doing what it does. And I got to be honest with you, though, at the end of the day, this truck spends 99.9% of its time on the road, and the TRD front sway bar is exactly what this truck needed to make it perfect for on-road travel. And the big thing that used to happen with this truck on road was when you were getting anywhere near like an 18-wheeler or a bus, anything bigger, and you would feel the air kind of like turbulent over the truck, and the truck would start doing that, you know, swaying, moving around type thing. It just didn't do it this time. The front sway bar really held the truck together. Front and rear work together like a champ. If you don't have any sway bars, I mean, if you're looking for your first sway bar, I suggest you go with the rear first, because that really makes a difference big time. But they work so well together. Again, you can find them on Sparks Parts. But overall, the highway travel, it felt different than usual. It felt like you point the truck in a straight line and it's not all over the road. It felt really comfortable, a lot better. So that was my first trip with the TRD front sway bar. You know, we'll do more trips and we will see if anything changes along the way. So at the end of the day, TRD front sway bar made the truck feel like it didn't have any sway at all anymore, which was awesome. But on bumps, you could definitely feel those bumps a little bit more. Because like I said in my last video, so when you used to hit a bump with the Tundra, it would hit the bump and then kind of level itself out, right? But the way the front sway bar works, it'll just hit the bump and come back to center. Hit the bump, come back to center. So that makes you kind of get that going on a little bit. But totally recommend, so it's up to you guys if you want to do that. But overall, on a 1 to 10 on this road trip, I give this Tundra a 53. Reaffirm my love for the Platinum Pro, my love for the sunroof, this big back window, which I never want to be without in my life, and of course the Magnuson supercharger. If you have the means, check it out. Talk to Jamie at Sparks Parts. He'll tell you everything. Comes with the Bully Dog tuner. And the best part about the Bully Dog tuner is you can, you know, it comes with a little suction cup on the window. You could put the screen up and it'll show you all the stats of the motor as you're driving down the highway or the road if you want to leave it up there. But awesome. High five to the whole truck. Yeah, I'm a happy camper right now. So let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have any questions, I'm definitely here to help. Don't forget, we're not doing a live stream today. We're doing a live stream tomorrow, which is Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Bring your questions. I'll be ready to talk. So if you need to contact me, Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. You guys have a great day.